Assalamualaikum and very good afternoon everyone. My name is TENGKU MAUDTIRICE and my other two friends Nur ATHIRAH and Nur LIYANA. We are from group 6. We're gonna present to you about job performance across generation. As we know, in one organization we have various generation work in one place. So in this presentation, we're gonna present to you about the job performance and the way to improve job performance across generation. So the first generation is baby boomers. Baby boomers born between 1946 to 1964. They're currently aged between 55 to 75 years old. Baby boomers are the biggest consumer of traditional media like television, radio, magazine, and newspaper. Despite being so traditional, 90% of baby boomers have a Facebook account. This generation has begun to adopt more technology in order to stay in touch with family members and reconnect with old friends.
Until 1979, which is their age is from 40 to 54. Generation X has been called as current generation. Current is the middle-aged white mom who is always asking for the manager and wondering why kids are so obsessed with their identities. For more information about Generation X, where they had the highest average debt within rules by about 10%, which amounts to 11,898 between 2016 and 2019. This source is from Lending Tree Study Research. They also had the most credit card debt while spending most on non-essentials such as dining out and lottery tickets.
So, I will explain about the characteristic of Generation Y. Generation Y born from 1980 to 1994. Other than that, Generation Y, also known as millennials, eco-boomers and digital native. They known as eco-boomers because they are the children of baby boomers. They grown up with technology such as computers, laptops, handphone, tablets, and many more. Generation Y has seen the world grow so much in their lifetime that they do not even realize what it was like in the past. Compared to Generation X, Generation Y are more technological savvy due to growing up within the information age, and they use media in every day in their life, such as WhatsApp, Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Generation Y also have self-confidence and ambitious. Generation Y are not afraid to face new challenges, and they will ask every question that they do not know about something. They also believe that there are no limit for them to achieve something in their work or in their life.
Let's move on to the main point, which is the job performance across generation.
But before that, let me introduce you about job performance. Job performance are employee behavior that contribute either positively or negatively to the accomplishment of organizational goals. There are two types of job performance, which is task performance and contextual performance. Task performance describe the core job responsibilities of an employee, or known as in-role prescribed behavior. And contextual performance goes beyond formal jobs responsibilities, or known as discretionary extra role behavior. The first generation is baby boomers in job performance. Baby boomers are often highly experienced and capable employees. Over time, these seasoned workers tend to have cultivate deep organizational expertise. Tacit knowledge that helps them accomplish tasks with minimal friction. But baby boomers' tenure doesn't automatically result in performance excellence. The second one, like all employees, baby boomers have basic psychological needs, like knowing what's expected of them at work and feeling like their opinions matter. If these engagement needs are met, baby boomer will create more, do better work, and go to extra mile to win businesses. Next point, in work-centric, baby boomers are extremely hardworking and motivated by position, perks, and prestige. Baby boomers release long work weeks and define themselves by their professional accomplishment. Because they like to work in a long time, they have a motto, live to work. Different with Generation X. Generation X have a motto, work to live. Since they sacrifice a great deal to get where they are in their career, this workaholic generation believe that Generation X and Generation Y should pay their dues and conform to a culture of overwork. Next is goal-oriented. Baby boomers are achievement-oriented, dedicated, and career-focused. They welcome exciting, challenging projects and strive to make a difference. Next one is competitive. Since baby boomer equate work and position with self-worth, they are quite competitive in the workplace. They are clever, resourceful, and strive to win. Baby boomers believe in hierarchical structure and rankings and may have a hard time adjusting to workplace flexibility trends. They believe in FaceTime at the office and may fault younger generation for working remotely. Last one is self-actualization. Because the baby boomers grew up in a time of mass middle-class affluence, they had time and energy for self-actualization, and the traditionalist value of comforty and loyalty started to fall apart. Work for baby boomers shift from a source of stability to a means of self-actualization and self-expression, moderating the traditionalist love of hierarchical management with an emphasis on structural fairness and equal opportunity. So that's all is the job performance of a baby boomers, and I will pass to my colleague.
Job performance in Generation X. The first one, Generation X had a clearly defined and had a goal. 25% of Generation X are more eager to advance when solving their problems than their counterparts. Generation X with scheduling a meeting and sharing a document before they begin for time-consuming project. The second one, work-life balance. Generation X prefer more to personal values and goals. They have a mottos of work to live compared to boomers where live to work. This is why they're not willing to work overtime based on the figure 1.1, the table of willingness to work overtime. As we can see from the table, in the column never when asked, the percentage for Generation X is 0.22, and for the column rarely when asked, the percentage is 0.87. So, from the comparison for the boomers and also millennials, Generation X is the lowest one to willingness to work overtime. The third one is able to adapt to new technology. Yes, as we know, Generation Y or the millennials is a technology savvy. But then, for Generation X, they are very independent generation where they really wanted to learn a new things, new interesting and challenging things so that they want to adapt to the new things and they also have a confidence in their digital leadership capability. Fourth, work smartly. Generation X prefer to work smartly, that they always be looking for their own ways to carry out their tasks than just follow what their senior usually do. Their senior is the baby boomers. They won't follow what the baby boomers have done in their previous tasks. They always come out new strategy, new style to complete their tasks. The fifth, job mobility behavior. Generation X more independent, self-reliant, and so entrepreneurial. This is what we call them as free agent workforce. They are more focusing on keeping skill current to improve their security. Last but not least, leadership skill. Generation X have excelled in traditional leadership skills that are more critical than ever. That means showing the empathy and so being driving for execution.
So I will explain about the job performance across Generation Y. First is the culture acceptance. Generation Y can accept new culture and races. They also can easily adapt with the new changes or new places. Generation Y are willingness to accept this situation because they was born in diverse society. Generation Y like to work together with other generation because they believe if they cooperate with other generation, they can gain more knowledge to be success because other previous generation knows about something is more than the generation Y. Generation Y who view as being willing to embrace and value change. Nowadays, every organization have different of generation, so whatever is it, they need to work together to achieve the objective of the organization. The second is this flexibility and multitasking. As I mentioned before, Generation Y can adapt easily with other generations. Generation Y is the generation who can be flexible in the workplace. Generation Y are not expect for any changing, but they only demand it because they are ready to accept the changes. Even this generation can be flexible in the workplace, but they also consider to have their personal life. So Generation Y believe that being flexible and working with other people can motivate themselves. Other than that, working with others also can make the employees of Generation Y more creative because Generation Y employees can learn more from the previous generation. Besides, Generation Y is not only being flexible, they also a multitasking person. As we as Generation Y can do multiple jobs at the same time. For example, they can talk with the phone while typing for an email at the same time. Actually, the technology helps them more to do the multitasking. Okay, the last one is Generation Y prefer teamwork in their workplace. Even though the generation is an independent person, they also prefer teamwork because they can work together with other people. So by working together, they can finish the work early and easily. They can divide the scope of the job and only doing their own part, but they also can gain ideas and can make any opinions when they work in a teamwork. Other than that, they also can be more collaborative and participant with style when they make work in a team.
Second, ways to improve job performance across generation.
For baby boomers, first is keep them engaged. Engaging baby boomers in the workplace is a tactic that many companies are employing. A study from LIMRA Secure Retirement Institute found that 92% of employers were taking steps to help their employees work longer, say Deborah Dappen, LIMRA's Associate Managing Director of Retirement Plans Research. Flexibility is a key component of their retention strategies. Two-thirds of the survey firm implemented flexible work hour. About 42% of the organizations surveyed by LIMRA had flexible workplace, allowing employees to work from home, remotely, or from more than one location. Nearly two-thirds of the company in LIMRA survey said they expected higher benefit costs, while half of survey respondents planned to absorb higher health costs. The second one, we can make the workplace senior friendly. Another way to keep baby boomer in the workplace is to resolve the issues that commonly lead these workers to retire. Even when they want to continue working, here's a few consider that baby boomers keep thinking while they want to continue to working. So we have to make our workplace more accommodating because many baby boomers that have disabilities. So we have to think about their health problem. And the second one, baby boomers will also care for a family member or spouse, so we can over them to work in flexible time so that they can go home first to gather with their family. And the last one is overing employee training. Why we have to over the employee training? Because sometimes in the change of the time, baby boomers maybe have a lack of transferable skill, so that they can have a new skills that Generation X and Generation Y also have. For example, about the technology and the social media.
Into Generation X so that they can improve their job performance. Next, feeling their job is important. By this, Generation X will feel belonging in the organization because they only will stay at the organization that appreciate and respect them. As we know, Generation X is not as loyal as baby boomers, so they won't stay a long time in one place. So that's why organization need to make sure that Generation X feel belonging in the organization to make sure that they will stay longer in that workplace. The third one, opportunity to do interesting work. Organizations should provide various of challenging tasks for Generation X so that they will not feel bored. Generation X, they love challenging and interesting tasks. And they also independent generation. Thus, the organization should provide interesting and challenging tasks so that they can try a different or various of work tasks so they can improve their professional skill, and this also can improve their job performance in the organization.
So last but not least, the ways to improve job performance across generation Y is first, let the employees to try new jobs. Generation Y place a lot of importance on finding their calling and doing work they are passionate about. For example, some of the employees is passionate in finance and some of them are passionate in marketing. So the companies need to create ways for the employees to try jobs and develop new skill outside of their division or team. Actually, many companies have do their rotation programs where employees can get a feel for how each area of an organization works, and the employee can decide where they want to go for the rotation. For example, from the finance department, they want to change to the marketing departments. Finding ways to allow the employees to feel like they can grow, learn, and explore new opportunities. Second, ask the employees about their opinion. Maybe the company may not be used to asking the employees or the team for their thoughts on a task, project, meeting, or goal, but this can go a long way with the employees. They want to feel like they are personally valued and contributing to the organization mission. So, by giving them a chance to voice their opinion, it will create buy-in and ownership for the Generation Y. The company should try to make a habit of asking for the employees' idea, thoughts, and opinions. So, the companies can gain more ideas to improve the company's value. Last one is encourage face-to-face interaction. With so much technology within reach, it's easy to get out of practice interacting face-to-face, because nowadays we can see employees and only communicate in the WhatsApp for their daily. So there's no interaction with one to one. The company also can encourage in-person meeting when possible, and create space for informal relationship building. The company can make something like team building outside the company or the family day for the employees. The company also can provide free lunch for the whole team or only for the department by department, with the caveat that no cell phone or computers are allowed to bring to the room, so that they can communicate with one another without any phone and computers. Because nowadays we can see when we go for the lunch or dinner, there's 5 people in at the table, but they only play with the phone. There is no communicate with one another. Maybe generation Y not like this idea at first part. If the company promote human connection and authentic relationship building, they may get a lot out of the experience and appreciate what the company facilitating it.
Thank you for watching the video. Any question can ask in the WhatsApp group.